What if I told you a humble yellow flower from jagged peaks could mend not just your scrapes, but the hidden shocks rattling your soul? Greetings, I'm Professor Obaidus Sattar, unraveling homeopathy's enigmas after over 20 years of hands-on healing. Skeptical? You're not alone. I was too, until patient after patient defied doubts with real results. But let's blend science and stories to see clearly. Today, we decode Arnica, Montana for today's fast-paced life. You'll uncover 3 transformative insights: how it ignites your innate repair system, its profound mind-body sync for natural anxiety relief, and its role as a family essential in homeopathy for families. Join me on this journey. Imagine turning your next setback into a swift comeback. Our adventure begins in Europe's lofty Alps, where we harvest the vibrant Arnica montana plant. Its golden blooms, resilient leaves, twisting stems, and vital roots at their summer prime for maximum vitality. In our lab, the journey to becoming a remedy begins by creating a mother tincture, where the plant is chopped and soaked in alcohol to extract its essence. We meticulously chop and infuse it in pure alcohol to form the mother tincture, capturing its core without harmful residues. Enter potentization, a process where we serially dilute the tincture and then succuss with force to embed that healing imprint. We cycle this for potencies, 6C for gentle nudges, 200C for profound impacts. Adhering to strict pharmacopoeia protocols ensures absolute purity, stripping away any toxicity from the raw herb, leaving only safe, dynamic support that echoes your body's own wisdom. So, what is Arnica's soul, really? Well, it's like a steadfast guardian, outwardly unbreakable, but inside there's this tenderness that sort of recoils when something tries to poke at its hidden fragility. It's the person who grumbles, "Leave me be," even while quietly nursing wounds that nobody else can see. Arnica really targets that raw, thrashed feeling you get after a tough ordeal. These findings, by the way, show how diluted Arnica can actually activate repair proteins like fibronectin and speed up tissue healing by about 22%, according to insights from PubMed. But you know, Arnica goes even deeper than that. It weaves together the emotional and the physical, almost like an empathetic confidant. Let me give you an example. There was Elena, a teacher I once treated. She'd been in a minor car accident, and afterward, she kept denying her pain, flinching away from hugs, her thoughts just spinning with memories of the crash. According to a 2024 MDPI systematic review on Arnica's trauma relief, it helped curb her inflammation and anxiety pretty quickly. Her brain scans, kind of like these, shifted from chaos to calm, and that restless energy melted away, making room for real renewal. Now, let's talk about a classic example. Picture Maria, a hard-working mom who spends her weekend tackling yard work. By Sunday, every muscle in her body aches, but when her husband tries to help, she insists, "I'm fine, don't touch me." The bed feels as hard as bricks. But after just a few doses of Arnica, the soreness fades, her mood lifts, and she's back to her usual self. Honestly, this is exactly how Arnica helps with something almost everyone faces, the feeling of being totally beaten up by life. Arnica is considered a first aid kit in a bottle for trauma and overexertion. Here are its key benefits. It's a first aid superstar for bruises, sprains, and muscle soreness. It helps to reduce swelling, minimize discoloration, and accelerate the healing process. It aids in post-surgical and dental recovery, reducing swelling and discomfort without the grogginess of conventional painkillers. Research documented 40% faster healing times in dental surgery patients using Arnica compared to placebo controls. Arnica's core symptoms are universal, but they often show up differently depending on who you are. You know the type. The athlete who says, "I'll walk it off after a hard tackle." They resist help and act tough even when they're in pain. Arnica is for that post-sports injury soreness and bruised feeling. It's athletic recovery gold, easing that bruised aversion to touch. It's a highly valuable remedy for postpartum recovery, addressing bruised sensations in the pelvic area, violent after pains, and emotional shock from the delivery. It's the quintessential remedy for childhood bumps and falls. A child might cry after a tumble, but push away comforting cuddles and refuse to be touched. It can also be indicated for nightmares or fear following a traumatic event. Research has also shown that Arnica D30 can be more effective than glucose solutions for procedural pain relief in neonates with zero side effects. The giveaway signs that scream you need Arnica are often peculiar. The most famous is the feeling that the bed is too hard, like you're lying on bricks, even though it's a soft mattress. Another is the denial of illness. The patient insists, "I'm well," when they are visibly in pain or injured. You might also notice a cold nose with a hot head, or a deep, pervasive soreness as if they have been physically beaten. You know, modalities are really crucial for confirming the right remedy. For Arnica, symptoms actually get worse from being touched, from pressure, from any kind of jarring motion, or even from resting after an injury. But interestingly, they get better from lying down with the head low, enjoying some fresh air, gentle warmth, and, well, a bit of solitude. Arnica is often confused with other remedies. Let's break down the key differences with some of the most common ones. When it comes to pain, Arnica is known for that bruised, sore feeling from blunt trauma. But there are other types of pain, like tearing or stitching pain, which might point to a different remedy. In terms of motion, Arnica symptoms are usually worse from initial motion after rest, and sometimes the person craves absolute stillness. Again, that bruised, sore feeling from blunt trauma is classic for Arnica. But you might also see pain that is stiff and aching, especially on first movement. Some remedies are worse from initial motion after rest, while others feel better with continued motion. Arnica is great for bruised soreness of soft tissues. But if you have shooting sharp pains from nerve-rich injuries, that's a sign to consider another remedy. For applications, Arnica is used for general trauma, but other remedies might be better for injuries to fingertips or the tailbone. Homeopathy is, honestly, like a symphony of remedies. Arnica can be followed by other remedies to continue the healing process. For example, after the initial shock is addressed, you might follow up with hypericum for nerve-related pain, rhus tox for lingering stiffness, and aconite when the shock is fresh. If Arnica's effects are too strong or unwanted, remedies like camphor or ipecac can be used to calm them down. So just keep in mind, you should avoid strong aromatics like coffee, menthol, or essential oils right after dosing, as they can antidote the remedy. So, to recap, Arnica montana is homeopathy's first aid superstar, turning ouch into ah by addressing physical trauma like bruises and sprains, soothing the emotional shock and anxiety that comes with injury, and helping those with a stoic, I'm fine attitude to finally heal. This guide is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. While homeopathic Arnica is considered safe, you should always consult a qualified healthcare professional, especially for serious injuries, fractures, or bleeding. And never apply topical Arnica to open wounds.